Okay, Pisces natives, you guys are doing this eclipse in your 511 with the focus on the 11th house. 11th house being your future, your friends, your money derived from career. And look at this house. It is chock full of strong energy. And this means that, one, you can meet some really, really powerful friends, ones who could open doors for you. This means that you could belong to organizations or create an organization. You might create some sort of humanitarian endeavor. You can change the world. And this is also your house of inventions. And so maybe you are inventing something. Maybe you're getting a patent for something. This is your house of astrology. Maybe you are discovering the value of learning about yourself and finding your hidden talents through your chart. And then, of course, this is money derived from career, which we'll talk about in a moment. The lunar eclipse, of course, is the full moon, which is the sun, which represents yourself, your sense of identity, which is shining on the moon, which is your needs and wants and desires, now blocked by the earth, which is mundane things like, taking care of the cat and getting to work on time and, knowing how to connect a printer to a computer and things like that. Those things are getting in the way of you expressing yourself and finding what you really need. And so this says right now what you need is more of a sense of belonging and to make a bigger mark in the world. And so where you're feeling blocked is that your daily life is just taking over, and this is the things that you need to solve. Because in a lunar eclipse, what happens is that the desire and the need become overwhelming, and then we just pop. And so we have to do something different, and this is your opportunity. Now, that opportunity comes with that Saturn, which represents career and respect and what you're known for, making it in conjunct to that north node in your 4th house, which is, this is my life path. This is truly what I want to do. And so for some people, this is looking at your career and saying, you know what I really want to do? I want to work at home, or I even want to stay home. And I don't even want to do that sort of thing where I'm out in the world. Maybe you want to run a daycare. Maybe you want to do real estate investing. Maybe you want to do handyman work or be in construction, but also this is, maybe you just want to have a home business. And so this is, I have a calling, I have a life path, and yet I have responsibilities that I need to take care of, and it's an inconjunct. That means that when you do one, you want to do the other, and you cannot do both right now. Someday you will be able to make the transition, but right now you have to figure out a way to do both when you feel like you can't do both, when it feels uncomfortable. And so that's part of this eclipse that's going on. Now, what we also see with this eclipse is that Mars is in Aries in your house of money, and it's going to be there for 6 months, so that is fantastic. This means that when you take direct action, you can make money. You have not had a Mars go through this house for this long, probably in your whole life. So this Mars says when you do something, when you take action, you could get paid. It could be that direct. Now this Mars is going to go retrograde in September, and that can slow things down a little bit, but what I will tell you is it will also bring back a lot of opportunities. So if you miss something now, if you feel you weren't capable of really grabbing hold of the opportunity, that opportunity is going to come back. So that's some good news. But you do want to utilize this Mars by actually working with your finances to say to yourself, all right, what am I spending my money on, and what should I be spending my money on? What could you be investing in versus just spending? When we look at your house of relationships, what's going on is it's pulling energy from the Mercury retrograde. And so we do have some hiccups when it comes to relationships. This could be some miscommunication. You might be, the timing might be off for the romance. It means that when you're meeting somebody new, maybe you get the time wrong and you don't show up, or they don't show up, or there could be, it's like some texts that are misunderstood. So you do want to be a little careful. This Mercury is not going to be retrograde that long, so you may just want to wait this out. It does say, though, too, because there's no connection really now between Mercury and Neptune, which would be that 1-7 energy, again, that just says, just wait out this energy. It's going to be better later. So don't take any real rash action. Don't make any real big decisions about this, because the energy is just not there. When we look at your fourth house, we have lovely Venus there. That's fantastic. That says there's some happiness and that you might be having some parties. Maybe visitors are coming. That's great. But it is ruled by that Mercury retrograde in the fifth house, which says that there's a lot of kid activity going on. And, people, maybe they're bored because, they've watched everything on Netflix. They need a project. So giving them some sort of creative project to do would be really helpful. You could also look at that as maybe there's some repairs that you thought were done now have to be done again. Something that deals with fire, so that could be the barbecue or the stove, or I don't know why you'd be using the heating system unless you're in Australia or something, but anything dealing with fire could need some repairs. When we look at your career, it's ruled by Jupiter sitting in your house of money derived from career, so what great placement that is. And it's making a good aspect to Neptune in your own sign of Pisces. So you have opportunities for a new job, you have an opportunity for a raise, to get a better position, you can find a new job in a new industry if you want, or you can keep your old job. Everything is very good when it comes to career right now, so you want to capitalize on this energy. This is also a good time to get recommendations from boss if you're moving on, or to contact people you used to work with. Maybe they're part of some organization now and you can get recommendations from them. When we look at your money, we already talked about this. You have Mars going through that house and it rules that house. That means that when you buy and sell things, that's the way for you to make money. But also having your money make money for you is a really good way for you to make money. To pay attention to your money is a good way for you to amass money. The Chiron is there, and so it does say that you want to do some healing when it comes to your relationship with money. You want to put yourself in a harmonious vibration with money. That could take a meditation, or maybe you want to remove some of the old programming you have from childhood about money. Maybe there were things that your parents always said or your grandparents always said about money, and maybe you need to look at money differently. Your money from passive income sources and from your own business is very strong because it's ruled by that Venus right in the fourth house, especially if you have a home business. This is wonderful. It does mean that money can also come from a spouse, or it can come from a family member. You may make money from royalties, residuals, passive income sources like affiliate marketing and things like that. All of those sources of income are quite good, but it is a sextile, and a sextile means you have to take action. You cannot just let this be to chance, and you can't make it be just so automatic that it's not causing you to do anything. So even though we call it passive income, you have to do something. And that's because of the sextile. You're the one who activates it. And that is through the phone call or the investment or the fact that you're working on your business. All of those things help. When we look at your money derived from career, that's that house that is so filled with planets. And that is to say that maybe you need to look at what you're making in your career and ask yourself, is there somebody else in my same business or in my same position who is making far more? Maybe this means that you're underpaid. Maybe this means that you need to go for the higher position, try to get the promotion. Maybe you need to change to another company and make a jump. Maybe you need to jump to another industry. So this all says to focus on what it is you're making and decide, am I underpaid? And remove the blocks so you can make more money. And currently you are doing some good aspects for this because you're doing an out of sign sextile between Saturn and Mars. That does say that more money can come to you, but it is out of sign and it is a sextile. That means you have to do the work. I know I keep saying that, but that Mars in Aries says that when you go plant the seeds, you can make a garden of abundance. But if you don't, then the ground just sits there. And finally, when we look at your windfalls, you actually do have some really interesting energy because one, it's part of the eclipse, and two, it's the Mercury retrograde and the sun. And that does say some windfalls can come to you. That means that if you reach out to some big influencer, there's a good chance that they're going to text you back. It says that when you take a chance, when you take a risk on yourself and do something, like expressing your art, singing, dancing, freelancing, doing something where you're being really creative, you have opportunities. Now the Mercury's retrograde, so that says it's not going to happen right away. But with the sun there, if you do things to make you shine, you have a chance to pull things together that seem to come out like just by magic that really could bring you some opportunities. So really consider taking some risks, especially creative risks, and showing people what you can do.